Like there's no structure, you know. And I remember when I used to drive Uber. You know, a lot of people used to ask me like, "Man, so you live in that neighborhood? So man, when there's violence, is it really like I'm gonna put a hit out on this guy and I'm gonna like no, there's none of that. It's just like give me a gun, let me go do something real quick. You know, like there's no structure, no premeditation,
A lot of
no
rogues out here.
yeah, it's just like I got GPS and I got a gun. Like let me go do something over there. You know?
And let's acknowledge the fact that the guns come from where?
Off the freight trains.
Yeah, I was
They
gonna say
dropping them
freight
off in
train.
alleys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who dropping them off?
If we knew the answer to that question, I think a lot of things would be
But
different.
A lot of the guns come from states where, you know, there very few regulations to sell. A lot of stuff comes from Indiana, you know, that's sold in Chicago, you know, and
you can,
Indiana's 45 minutes away.
They got
a
and you can walk into a gun store in Michigan.
Yeah.
You know?
So Michael K. Williams had a show on on Viceland, well on the Vice Network when they flipped to TV. It was about like different underground organizations. So he was tagging along with a car theft ring. He was tagging along with a counterfeiting ring. One of the episodes, he was tagging along with gun runners. So he was showing the process of running guns from like Ohio into New York, down to Georgia, from
How
Georgia.
do people let him do this?
Huh?
How do people let him record
The
this?
show was very short-lived. He got off one season.
Yeah, he had like hard crackers.
You
and
seen that,
everything.
right? Yeah. So he was showing how as a network they would snag guns from the SEC. I mean, from SEC. I'm thinking about football. From the Southeast. So like from southeastern states, and they would run them up through, you know,
Ohio,
New York, Connecticut.
They buy it like gun shows. And
Right,
things
pretty
like that.
much. Places where you can get a gun without having to have a license, and running them up into these states and selling them illegally.
Or you could buy an unlimited quantity or so forth.
Or a certain type of gun. Because, you know, gun laws has gotten crazy. Like in California, you can't have more than 10 rounds in your clip.
Even if it's a 16-round clip.
But
they don't sell them. You can't get one of those in California.
But some of these places, like my homie was doing like a little fundraiser for a hospital, and the hospital was auctioning off
AK-47, AR-15.
Yeah, AR-15.
Yeah.
I would love to have an AR-15.
But there was a police district somewhere in Indiana that was selling raffle tickets for the annual something raffle.
Yeah.
And the first prize was an AR-15.
Yeah, we
can't.
The
cops are giving people AR-15s.
Yeah.
In Indiana.
Well, it really is about the NRA, blocking, gun reform. And you know, even if you live in a state where even if you live in a state,
like all in the camera.
Even if you live in a state where, there's strict laws, but if next door, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's just like being 15 years old and your next door neighbor's mom lets him smoke weed in the house, but you can't smoke weed in the house. You're gonna go smoke weed next door.
Right.
It's the same thing.
Right.
But like I like to think, especially in this situation, guns don't shoot people. Stupid 15-year-olds with guns shoot people.
Yeah.
So,
and that was a big gun.
But
like,
seriously though, you know how I feel about the Second Amendment, and you know how I feel about gun laws, and that's a whole nother situation.
How do you feel about it?
See, I don't. All right, so basically, I feel like you should be able to own whatever you want. Nobody should have the right to tell you how to protect yourself and your family. If I want to have a cannon off of a 18th century battleship in my house, I'm protecting my family with it. Who are you to tell me I can't?
Right.
You sound like Swiss Beats.
Well, there's an argument to be made for that, obviously, because, you got a sort of situations where it's even been shown that someone with a gun is stopped by someone else that happened to have a gun. And when I've been in the South where it's open carry, people are very polite with one another because after all, you don't want to.
I know you
can
do whatever you want to do.
Yeah. And so some people make that argument. I think the thing is the capacity for some of these weapons to cause death and destruction You know, I mean, was it like 90 seconds or 45 seconds, and how many people dead? You know, and
Yeah.
and you know, when that kind of firepower ends up in the wrong hands, then those are the kind of casualties you're going to have. So I think it's a trade-off. You know.
See, now that's how I feel, man. I feel like there should be a limit on size. I mean, I know people who own AR-15s legally, you know, but also at the same time, how you just said, 45 seconds, 60 people dead.
So
60 seconds, 110 people dead. You're never gonna have 110 people running in your house to harm your family at the same time.
how you know?
Well, you know,
Look.
that's a great question. You know, this is a great topic because I think personally that is what's at stake here is the amount of destruction that can be caused by one person with the wrong agenda.
So
Right.
you know what? This is my issue. This is how I can sum up my entire thing. Because I don't want to have a gun conversation right now because we can go on for ages.
Yeah, because I
I'll
was
say
going
that-
to bring something back up.
When you put your rights into the hands of certain people, they now have the power to tell you what your rights are.
Right.
So
Yeah.
just like we fight to keep the First Amendment the way it is,
Yeah.
because if you put the power of speech into the hands of someone else, they can tell you what speech is, right?
Right.
Just like if
Can
you
I just ask you one question?
okay,
Okay, so what if you got some nuclear combustible material, and so you had enough nuclear material to maybe not make like a full-out atomic bomb, but like a dirty bomb that would
Right.
kill like 300,000 people. So what if you had this material at home, and they came by and they said, "Hey, John, you know, we really can't let you have, this nuclear material because it's too dangerous."
Right.
And then you say, "Hey, I have a right to have like whatever kind of material I want to protect myself." Would that make? I mean, I'm just throwing that out.
so
there.
I would say, first of all, if I have the resources to enrich plutonium in the privacy of my own home, I deserve it. and second of all, I say I deserve to have whatever the government got. Cause if the government turn on me and they got something I ain't got, I'm gonna lose.
Okay,
see,
well, I think
yeah,
we
and
can
see,
move
That's a
on.
good
Now,
argument
that's-
there.
And that's what the Second Amendment was supposed to be
That's
about.
what it's for.
It was supposed to be to arm yourself to protect yourself from the government in case the government would ever turn on the people. That's what it says in the Second Amendment.
It's
you
to
know.
bear arms. It's
And-
to bear
and-
arms and not be controlled by like a monarchy.
Yeah.
And not be,
So what? This is 300 years ago, right?
Yeah.
That's a very short amount of time.
Well, I think they were thinking of like muskets and bayonets. And
Yeah.
honestly, I say that because I do not think they were thinking about AR-15s. I do not
Yeah,
think they were thinking
with
about
bump
rocket
stocks.
launchers.
I think they
or
were thinking.
Hellfire missiles.
I think they were thinking about having the same weaponry that their oppressors had. I'm just saying. If you defending yourself
it
against
was
your
America
oppressor,
versus England, and England had a navy.
Yeah.
Mm.
I don't know. I think that there's a problem right now.
that's why I didn't want to have the gun talk.
A lot of
I
people are
didn't
getting
want to have the
shot.
gun talk. I got thousands of rebuttals.
Well, yeah.
Lastly, I leave you with this. So they did a gun ban in the United Kingdom and Great Britain, right? There was a knife attack and 9 people got killed in a
Yeah.
matter of
Those people,
seconds.
At some point, you have to say, like, the same way you deserve to have all this in your house, y'all got to run.
So look.
Okay,
so
9
they-
people is one thing, but
But look,
how
as
many,
a
how
result-
many people were killed in Las Vegas?
But let me
it
just
was,
say
this.
It was a lot.
Let
It was
me
like
just say this. As a
60 or
res-
something,
Yeah,
and
it's a
then
big
like
difference.
a bunch of
my
people got
point
hit
is,
too.
my point is, as a result, the United Kingdom proposed a butcher knife ban. My point is, it's not the weaponry that gets people killed.
Yeah.
It's animosity towards your fellow man.
Yeah.
It's a
people kill
people problem, not a legislation problem.
Yeah.
Well, I think at the very least, when you have
Hey, but they
someone
had a,
when you have somebody getting the type of weapon that could cause mass destruction, they should definitely be thoroughly vetted
Checked,
and
yeah.
licensed to have that. I mean, and there's people getting these weapons that really even have a history of problems and
Right.
stuff, and they're able to get this. So something, is not adding up with that.
We said it on the show.
This is America.
If you want to hurt, you're gonna hurt.
Yeah.
If you want to shoot,
now,
you're gonna find a way to shoot. No law can stop you from shooting.
Now this is America, and America has an anger problem. Like, I don't know if you guys watch the
built
news,
on anger.
but this week there was 2 incidences of men walking into Walmart. One dude just pulled a gun out on a lady in Walmart. The other dude walked into Walmart with full body armor and an AR-15 on his back to test his Second Amendment rights. Like, people are just doing dumb, crazy shit just to do it.
And you know
think
what?
they always have.
You know where this is going to end up?
We just got 24-hour news coverage now.
You know where this is going to end up? They're going to make some battle-ready AI drones to control this shit, and there's going to be these robots floating around ready to take anybody out. That's what's going to end up happening because they're trying everything else, but they're going to say, okay, we're going to have a rock concert in Millennium Park, so we'll have a few of these AI drone robots fully weaponized to make sure, that could be what they have to do to protect.
But I mean, that's kind of my point.
We got to get off this gun.
Right. See, I didn't want to go here, but that's kind of my point. You can't stop people, no matter what you do. You can't stop people from hurting people. You can put as many drones or whatever you want in the sky. Yeah. If somebody gonna get that off before they get killed, and that's just facts of life.
That's
everybody
so
say
scary,
it with
man.
me. Guns don't kill people.
People kill people. Yes.
Well, I still think we need gun control.
See, no more gun talk.